What's up, everybody? How you doing? We're gonna be getting going here in just a moment. We got some great charts that we got to break down, and we're gonna do a little bit of total request live. You guys get to let me know what you want to see. So let's get this chat going. I had to restart my computer, so sorry for that fake out start earlier. But we're gonna be getting going here in just about 3 or 4 minutes. Man, I'm feeling good today. End of the week, charts are feeling a little frothy. It's feeling like we got some movement that might be coming in over the weekend. Are you guys prepared? Are you sitting on your hands? Everybody, let's get involved in this chat right now. I want to know. Think about it. Don't type it yet, but once we get the stream started, I'm going to ask you guys what coins you want to see. So think about it now, and I'll have Alexandra G shoot me over a Discord message to let me know what TA we're going to be doing on that Total Request Live. We're going to be breaking down some charts before that, though, because I got some stuff I got to share with you. Hope you're doing well, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to be here with you. I appreciate you. I love you. Happy to see you guys growing this. Alexander G, if you want to, in a little bit, send those altcoin TA pics over to the BitLab chat in the mod Discord. And I appreciate you. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name is Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time, I can guarantee it's not going to be your last time. I got a lot of stuff I'm going to be breaking down today, talking about what's going on with the price. We'll just skim over some of the stuff from the ETF just to look at it, but we got to talk about what's going on with this price. Where the hell is Bitcoin going from this point? Are the altcoins about to break down? Are there signs and signals in the charts that are kind of giving us a clue about what direction they're going? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So I hope you're all feeling well. Hope you're all, in the right state of mind. Because remember, I want to start every stream. I want us all to start every day from a place of gratitude. I want to start every day from a place of abundance. I want to start every day from a place where I can look at what's going on in my life in an objective way, much like our friend here in the chat, objectively real. Reality objectively, right? But in reality, we confound ourselves sometimes and confuse ourselves, and we bury ourselves so often with so many thoughts that don't serve us. It all starts with the language we have with ourselves. If we think we can't, we won't. We think we always fail, we will. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we're negative, then things will turn out negative. So let's get in the right mind space. Let's get in the right heart space. Let's ask, how can I help somebody else? Let's always also ask, no matter how much you think you know about something, let's ask, what can I learn in this situation? I don't care if you're frustrated. I don't care if you think you know what's going on. I don't care if you think the person you're talking to is a dummy. Who cares? That's a judgment that probably won't serve you. It also will just drive a wedge between you and that person and other people. And sometimes that's okay. Maybe you want that wedge. But the point is, if we come to any situation from a point of negativity, we will leave it without realizing the positive outcome that could have come from it had we had an open mind. So enough talking about all that stuff. I just want to make sure that we all start the day grateful. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I see people are pouring in here. As you roll into the room, I would just appreciate it if you would let YouTube know you like this crypto content. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Now that we're starting from that place of gratitude, let's talk about what the hell is going on in these charts. And by the way, right now, I want to see a roll call. Everybody, as you pour in, let me know you're here. What city, what state, what country are you in? Let's see. Some of you people might not know. You might be next door neighbors, because this isn't just supposed to be a digital anonymous community. Let's tie some of this together. Let's connect. Let's share. Let's see what we can grow together as people and build this community, not just here on BitLab, but across all of the digital ecosystem. Of course, we want our spending to be anonymous, but sometimes we are a social species and we need to tie things together. So let's talk about that. And I want to see each and every one of you. I'm going to be going through some charts here at the beginning. The second half of the show is total request live. So I want to see what coins you guys want to see some TA on, what coins you're a little maybe confused on. Drop in 2 different coins you're interested in seeing some TA on, and Alexandra G is going to get a list of some of the ones that we're seeing the majority of you are wanting, and we're going to go through those. So without any further ado, again, my name is Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the show. This show is all about, this community is all about tools, resources, and giving you a plan so you can dominate in this market. So let's talk about what the heck is going on in this market. So first things first, right here. So first things first, if you haven't yet, make sure if you're watching this over on the Hit Network 24 stream or whatever, anywhere you're watching any clips from this, make sure you're following us over here, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. But this is what we got to talk about right here. Look at that, bleeding. This is the altcoin market cap. Altcoins, this is giving you a gauge of what's going on, the health of the altcoins. This doesn't mean every altcoin is going down, but it's showing you as a whole, the general sentiment about what's happening in altcoins right now is saying, hey, we got a little frothy here. And, you know, look at this roundingness right here, rounding pattern. Okay, we broke below this trend line, got rejected, fake out to the upside. Now coming, this is, remember, an index of all the altcoins out there other than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's basically the whole crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. But this was telling. Shoulder here, big head here, and then sort of an elongated sort of shoulder here. Structurally, it's very similar to a head and shoulder. So if this is the case, I just want to point something out here. Let's do Option T if you're on Mac, or Alt T, and then you click on the chart. You have your trend line. You don't always have to come over here to the toolbar. You can use your quick keys. Make it efficient, baby. So that neckline right here, this is suggesting, and I just wanted to show you how important this is. This is suggesting a breakdown in the altcoin market of $40 billion potentially coming out of this market in terms of the valuation of everything underlying, right? So this is a pretty big consideration that we need to be paying attention to right now when we're thinking about where we want to allocate our money. And are we buying now? And if so, that's not a wrong thing to do. But if you're buying now, are you okay with holding through a little bit of a dip? Do you have lower targets to lower your average entry? These are considerations you should be asking every time you're thinking about, should I buy? Will I buy? Can I buy? Say, what's my time frame? How comfortable I am? How comfortable am I exposing this to risk, especially in the stage right now where we're very likely going to get some sort of dip, which we're already seen to be in process of. In addition to all this, let's sort of minimize this, and let's just look more locally. We're looking at the 4-hour chart, and we can see right here we have a pretty clear bear flag. Boom, right here. So the measurement on this bear flag would be from there to there, and we kind of go like this, and we've kind of come down for the most part and hit this target. We're just a little bit short of it, but we're going to want to see what happens. So let's get a little bit more clarity here. So on the 1 hour too. So this 1 hour candle is where we're really seeing a sell-off. So 15 minutes. You see what I'm doing there? I went from the larger time frame, and in this case, the 4 hour that I'm looking at, and then I'm going down this sort of chart metrics here of the different time frames until I can get some more clarity on the charts. Now, if you don't have all your different times up here and you always get frustrated trying to figure it out, you see how I have stars here? When you put a star, watch right here, this 1 minute right here. If I take the star off, put it back on, that's how you get the time frames that you like to utilize up here. It's your favorites list, and it basically just plugs them in right there. If you want to take them off, do that. And by the way, just a reminder, on the BitLab Academy YouTube channel, you scroll down right here to the Daily Alpha. Go watch this Pro Trading View guide, because I show you exactly how to break down these charts utilizing TradingView, utilizing the quick keys, all the different things you can do, and organizing your templates and everything. I'm telling you, everybody should be watching this video. It always surprises me because people ask me how I'm doing things every day, and I'm saying, hey, we got a whole 15-minute breaking this thing down right there. So definitely go and check that out. Now, coming back over here to this chart, altcoins look like they're a little precarious. And if you want to be very bullish right now, this is not looking like a bullish setup. Now, something could form. We very well could get a bit of a W formation here and a reversal back to the upside. But as it stands right now, this is looking, look at this, all of this heavy sell pressure, all this red that we're seeing on the BitLab trend fuel. We have negative money flow across the total three, all the way from back here when this was still positive. Stochastics coming down sharply, a little bit of a rebound here, but the question is going to be, is there going to be a rejection at some point where we have a trend line right here on the RSI? Yes, you can do TA on your data metrics as well, and that will give you other kinds of signals and additional types of signals than you would see just on your price action. So we have a trend line right here from this top of this RSI and these two tops here. So we may be in store right now for a little bit more short-term bullishness, meaning a little bit of a retracement. And we're going to want to see what happens when the price gets up, when the price moves up, and when the strength comes up into this zone. So where is this at, right now? Well, currently we have stopping volume. This is on the 15-minute, on the 15-minute chart. Why is this, let me turn off the volume. There we go. 15-minute chart, stopping volume. And we have, this is not a trend line. This is that projection for the metric. So we can go like this and then draw a trend line kind of in here. And this is looking like, look at this. This is kind of starting to line up with where this EMA ribbon is right here with the 20 moving average, as well as the dynamic resistance zone here on the BitLab intelligence indicator. So we could, there's nothing wrong with seeing this price action coming back up in here and getting rejected and coming further down. Shout out RH Max says massive green candles on the weekly. Can you pull a chart of Pulse Chain right now? I'll pull it up right after I'm doing this total market cap, total 3 chart. I'm just pointing out here that even if you see a little bit of a resurgence right here, until this sort of breaks this sort of zone here and comes up, I'd be a little bit cautious about looking to just buy if you're expecting gains in the next 24 to 72 hours. As things are looking like, there's either going to be a little bit of a consolidation or even potentially a further breakdown. Now, coming out of this, there you go. Order blocks are fire. Yes, they are. So what else did I wanted to show you really quick? Oh, CME Futures. CME Futures. We're coming right down into a level right now that's flirting with, look at this. It's flirting with clearing this CME Futures gap. This is that area that I keep talking about. That was down at that 39.4 to 39, actually about 40,300. So we're starting to flirt with the idea of filling this gap. The question is going to be, is there going to be buying pressure coming in to this right now? And by the way, RH Max, I am going to do the Pulse Chain for the super chat you just sent. I'm going to do that in a little bit because I want to knock out all these these charts at the front end, and then we're going to be doing all that total request live here in about 15 minutes. Just wanted to let you know. And everybody else, you're welcome to share what it is you want to see as well. Everybody, we got over 188 people in here, almost 200, and only 35 likes. Every one of you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Join us here in this community. We have a wonderful, empowering, engaging, we've got the community, and we'd love to see you in it. Now, CME Futures Gap, we're looking at this on the daily. As it stands right now, we had a bit of bearish divergence here on the CME Futures. Very similar to what we saw on Bitcoin leading into that last spike to the upside right about when the ETF launched on that day. So what we're seeing here is we had leading technical indicators. The purple line here is RSI. The orange line here is stochastics. I can make this a little bit brighter. I have it saved like that. There we go. So what I'm looking at here is that the fact that this area right here, these highs on the RSI and the stochastics, you see how high they are, and they're a bit lower, and they're a bit lower. If we look at these 3 zones, and this is kind of how you can really line up what your technical signals are on the price action. Do the technicals match where the price is going? This is one of the best leading indicators out there. When I talk about the stoplight action protocol that I talk about all the time about when I can determine that I want to take a trade, sit on the sidelines, or not take a trade. I look at what the technical data says, and I go, okay, we had negative money flow that came positive, and then it came back negative. And in the midst of this sort of journey, we see the technicals are high strength. They're getting weaker. They're getting weaker. Now, if we're expecting price to continue up, we don't want to see the underlying data suggesting weakness. We also have bearish divergence here on the momentum, these momentum waves. See this from here to here to here? This one has a little bit of a peak higher, but either way, these two most primarily bearish divergence, because we can see, look, from the point we first measured, I just marked these out with the vertical line so we could see it on the chart. We have a high, a higher high, and even higher high. And in the midst of all of this, we see the technical data was getting weaker along the way. The chart was telling you, maybe this is not our time, regardless of how much your bias said the ETF is going to send us to the moon. And I think the ETF is going to send us to the moon, but it's just not today. We just got the tickets for the moon with the ETF. The ETF was the tickets that says, hey, it's scheduled. We are going in. Capital flow is going to happen. And the interest, engagement, the awareness globally, not only in the crypto communities that we're in, the ETF puts us on a press tour with moms and pops and families and shops and institutions, and the moon is coming. We just got the ticket for it. Now everybody right now is coming home to pack. That's what's going on right now. This is CME Futures. So what are we looking at? Actually, I want to come over here and just go through some of this stuff, and then we're going to dive into all that altcoin TA. Right here, 14 billion. This is that ticket to the moon. 14 billion volume on the ETFs in 5 days. Records. You telling me people aren't interested in Bitcoin? And I don't care. Don't tell me. Shout out Sawtooth Hiker, $50 super chat, said, my fam, let's smash the likes for our Professor Kelly. This is Beaker, Fire, Boom, Sauce, Mr. Muchacho. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the members here. You got the Beakers next to your name. They're all filling up. If you guys want to join the membership, the link is down right below. You can also see, if you go to the BitLab page, just click join. I appreciate all the support and love that you guys give. Now, what we're seeing here, 14 billions of flow. Now, don't bring up, oh, well, Grayscale is having outflows. I don't care. Grayscale having outflow, but we're seeing it surpassed by the inflows on other exchanges. Even if you deducted the total amount of outflows from Grayscale and from what the total ETF thing is, and we get some hundreds of $millions of dollars, that's still breaking records compared to the 500 other ETFs that were launched in 2023. So things are pretty damn good despite what anybody's telling you. Now, the interesting thing about all this is, look at this, $2.2 billion out. With $2.2 billion out and being sold, Bitcoin price is still relatively in a safe regional area. This is freaking awesome. This is good. Are you not bullish? This is a good thing. Now, interesting thing here, though, just point this out. BlackRock has $1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin already after a week. Now, I'm not expecting this to be the same every week all the way through the year. Could be more, could be less. It'll probably be spotty here and there. But check this out. Assuming the median purchase price is $43,000, BlackRock owns roughly 27,900 Bitcoin. $27,900 Bitcoin. Multiply that by 52 weeks to determine how much Bitcoin they are on track to accumulate over the year. That's if this stays on this sort of target. 1.45 million Bitcoin BlackRock could have through purchasing of this ETF. And let's be honest, the majority of people that would be buying this are people that were apprehensive about getting into the crypto space in the first place. This is showing a shift of trend. This is showing the winds are bullishly blowing every one of you on the ship towards that rocket ship that's going to take you to the moon. So let's be patient. Let's look at this price action with the price action pulling down like we're seeing right here. A little bit of dip. Oh my God. Aren't you excited for this dip? I am thrilled that I still have an opportunity. I'm about to deploy about $15,000 back into the market here. I'm kind of waiting for a couple other areas, and I'll show you where. And then I'm going to be going heavy into the market with some capital that I freed up. So I'm looking forward to the prices going down if they do, because I know where it's going after that. If you can see where it's going, it doesn't bother you where it is at the moment. because you can navigate that. Now, this is right here. Everybody's wondering why we dipped. Well, I talked about this over the last 4 months. This is a CME Futures launch. Look at the price, down. Coinbase IPO, down. BitO CME ETF launch. This is the BitO ETF, down. ETF trading began. We're getting a little bit of a dip. Will we get the down? Even though I've been showing some targets to the downside because I want to scoop up those areas, doesn't mean it has to happen. Things are changing. Fundamentally, the access to Bitcoin has just gone hyper exponential. It's just a matter of when those flows truly start to matriculate into the charts and buying pressure comes in and really just sends this on. I mean, I'm looking for $8, $12, $15,000 God candles on a daily at some point. I don't think it's going to be like some multiple consecutive days, but I think we're going to be getting some big pumps sometime in the next 18 months. I think things are going to go hyper parabolic, and we are just right now sitting and waiting and planning and strategizing. That's what this is about. So if you are excited about what's going on in this market, you better subscribe to this channel and join us here so we can ride this together. This channel is coming up in about a week of only being open. This channel's been up for about a year. We're over 10,000 subscribers. Why did we grow a community so fast in a year in a choppy market? Because I'm giving you the goods. I'm giving you tools. I'm giving you positive space to come and learn, share strategies, and make sure that you don't fall in the pitfalls that I fell in, losing $70,000 in 1 or 2 trades like I did years ago because I didn't use my strategy. You know, getting hacked on Coinbase because I wasn't safe enough with my security. I've done all the things. I've messed up, and I own it. Where I've messed up, I've learned from, and I've built a better life through all of it because I learned from my mistakes, and I want to make sure that you guys all have the tools to really dominate. And we do that, by the way, in BitLab Academy. Also, we have this channel that we break things down on a daily basis, but we go deep on this channel where we break on this website, our community here, bitlabacademy.com, where we break these things down in 5 to 12 minute specific topic lessons within each course. I think on-chain analysis has 20 different lessons, candles, learn about each individual candle patterns, get in there. And of course we have the BitLab Discord where we just really, we really try to make sure we provide as much as possible in charts and setups and all this, but we got more to talk about. We're going to dive into these altcoin charts. The Bitcoin network is stronger than it's ever been. Just remember that. If you're ever wondering about price, stop worrying about it. This is the strongest network in the history of the world. A network orders of magnitude larger than the combined size of the clouds that Amazon, Google, and Microsoft have built. How long? Over 15 to 20 years. Bitcoin has a stronger network than all of these on orders of magnitude. The strength of our network, which underlying is the intrinsic value of the network beyond us just being able to transact and store value. The strength of the network is an absolute bar none. Like we can't even talk about it. Now, this is very big. Coinbase, what's going to go on with Coinbase is going to affect the altcoin market. I think a little bit, we have to pay attention when we're talking about this right here. We see price going down, but is there a reason? Maybe it was a little bit in the chart, but we also knew, and I've talked about it here as well, that on this date, yesterday, 2 days ago, January 17th, was that first day of the Coinbase SEC litigation that's going on right now regarding altcoins and regulation by enforcement. And right here, James Safart, we had him on the channel a week or two ago. My colleague Elliot, a senior litigation analyst, believes that which is Coinbase, has a 70% chance at victory over the SEC. Elliot went into the courtroom thinking a partial dismissal was likely and left thinking a full dismissal was his base case. So he thinks, based on what he's heard in the courtroom and the stance that the judge has taken, that we are going to have a judgment that comes out that's very favorable, which will absolutely launch the market. So although I did show you right here, the altcoin market is pulling back. It's a little bit of hedging. It's a little bit of, we don't know which way it could go. But if that pressure and uncertainty is released from this court case, this will be another thing that's buoying the market in addition to the Ethereum ETF applications that are in and the deadlines that are approaching, March and May being the equivalent of the January 10th one we had for Bitcoin. May is that for Ethereum. So there's a lot right now considering in the bullish considerations about what could launch this market. So the other thing before we get into the crypto charts, which we're about to dive into right now, is stock market breakouts after a strong correction has been historically one of the best signals for crypto market, as it happened at the start of the previous crypto bull runs. It happened in 2016, happened in 2020, and it's close to happening now. This is stock market, and look at this previous all-time high. Can you believe that we are where we're at right now, not just in crypto, but even the general stock market and the traditional finance sector with what's gone on the last 3 or 4 years? I mean, this dip it scared the life out of everybody in the markets. Felt like this is it. This is the big collapse. And then here we are. Lord, look at this. Rise, retrace, continuation, retrace, continuation, retrace, continuation. A little bit of hesitation right at the previous all-time high. Will this be breaking out and launching things to the moon? Because we are not only looking at stock market, not only looking at the Coinbase litigation, where we're at in relation to the halving. Remember, I'm just pointing this out for a second. We're coming up under 100 days. We're about 94 days or something away from the halving, roughly. Market is about to get wild. So I just want to point out, this is a snapshot from the BitLab newsletter. By the way, you can sign up for it for free. I dropped some alpha in here yesterday. There's only 2 sections here of the full thing I just shared. Head over to bitlabacademy.com, and when this page loads, all you have to do to sign up is scroll down the page like this, and you'll see the thing pop up. Boom, sign up right there. That's how you get the BitLab newsletter. And I was talking about the signals that I was seeing that was suggesting the pullback, and also where the certain targets that we're looking at. This sort of leading indication here with this not only head and shoulders that we had, but also double top in here, but also the bearish divergence that led into this. So had you been paying attention to these signals that I talk about on a daily basis, you would have been prepared for this drop, whether it was meaning changing your strategy or even just not being bothered by it because you have a longer term strategy. It's okay. You don't have to take every trade. But where we're at right now, although things are pulling back, we do have some hidden bullish divergence. What does this mean? Means the strength is actually going down at a deeper angle where we have the bases, this right here, where the Bitcoin price is bouncing is actually slightly rising. But I think this is now invalidated based on the price actions that's happened. It is. I can see it already. You know how I can see it? Because this is a low here, and we can see with the wick, we can see that this has already broken this zone. So we just need to know, now we disregard that hidden bullish divergence. There was an opportunity there. It's gone. Adapt or die in this market. Okay. So you see things setting up that may happen, but that doesn't mean you take the ultimate biggest trade of your life because you're hoping that hidden bullish divergence. But the ETF, this is going to bounce. No, it doesn't have to do shit. This market is here to eat you alive if you are not prepared. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's the truth. This market can make you the most money. Let me say this on the big screen. This market can make you the most money you could have ever imagined. And most people are chasing that. They're chasing that greed. And all of us are greedy a little bit, and that's okay. But you need to be greedy within bounds. You need to be greedy with a strategy. You need to realize it's not greed, but maybe it's that you're trying to expand the amount of capital that you have so you can take care of your family, so that you can have more free time. If you do it on a meaningful level and you understand your why, then you're not going to do something that's going to jeopardize you reaching that why. This market will eat you alive if you don't have a strategy. And even if you do have a strategy, you're still going to take losses. The point of trading consistently and profitable in this market over time, the way to do that is to do it with an effective strategy that you can repeat over time that keeps your emotions in check. That is absolute gold right there, and I hope you take that to the bank. So let's look at these charts. Let's talk about what's going on here. We're going to be doing some TA on altcoins in just a moment, but before we do that, I'm going to cover some of them that you guys are asking about. So quick question real quick. out of everybody that's in here right now, have you bought or sold anything in the last week? Are you sitting on the sidelines? Are you positioned from that 15, 16K bottom? Are you waiting right now to find a spot to really deploy into some DGEM plays in the alt market? Let me know what you're doing, because if I know what you're doing, I can also adjust my content on a daily basis and make sure that we can cover some of the things that you want to see, because this is a family thing, baby. So Bitcoin, I just talked about all the signals I was talking about in the newsletter and also over the last week or so. So I don't want to go too deep on this, but these are the levels I'm watching. This ultimately would be a flush out if the price action came down into here. This would be a flush out of that CME futures gap, but also would be coming down and testing this previous range high. So in addition to that, if we take a fib from this level all the way up to the top there, look at that. That's also representative of where the golden pocket is from where this move went to right here. You see this golden pocket, 0.65, 0.618, right in this region. I do think we are going to test to $39,000 to $38,000. This is my hope, 33,000. This is where I really want to scoop, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to buy some here. Now, why do you ask? Because I'm taking dip buying opportunities, and with the underlying bullishness that's in the market right now about where things can go, this very well could come down into the zone and absolutely rocket ship out of here. We've seen this. Rocket ship out. Rocket ship out. You see these dips? This consolidation into a slow burn to a rocket ship. But this, look at this. This is like a springboard. Bam. Bam. And then right here, once things really started getting going, and now we know what's coming up, and we're under 100 days from the halving, and we get some sort of positive Coinbase, I think that's going to buoy the entire crypto market if that happens. But there's no guarantee we even get any sort of determination on that Coinbase case, for the time being. So this is the area I'm watching, ultimately. And if we lose that, then I'm loading up, not at 33, but below this line, basically $33,000 to $35,000. I'll be out there working the corner, hanging my leg out on the street, trying to work some money so I can get more money in this market to take advantage of what we want to take advantage of. And this is a halving, taking advantage of this movement right here. So I'll be stacking all in this type of zone before we get that ultimate bull. So that's what we want to talk about on Bitcoin. So let's talk about quant. Quant here, look at this. Bit of a head and shoulders here, yeah? I remember I was talking about this the other day. If we lost this line, I'd be looking for this to go down into, I think I said the 104, the 104 level, which is basically right here. This was the top and this is the bottom here. And we're working our way down towards that. If we lose that, I think we're going to be coming down into this order block range here under $100. And quant, you know, the tokenomics on quant, phenomenal tokenomics. And I think this did not really get the same sort of move a lot of other alts did. Yeah, it went from 84 up to 153, which, to be fair, that's a pretty damn good move. I mean, that's, okay, it's an 81% move. But a lot of coins out there were doing 200, 300, 400%. And, you know, they weren't that different in terms of size of market cap. So what we're seeing right now is a head and shoulders with the double top in it. With, look, high volume into stopping volume, another attempt fake out to the downside, came back up, got rejected right here at the trend signal line. Telling you guys, use this BitLab trading stack. This is the only thing I've been using since me and Ray put this together and worked out. I mean, so many different like inner mechanics in it to read what's going on in the charts and volume and all this stuff in combination with the trend signal line and the order blocks right here, rejected back down, lost this. I'm looking for some sort of, this is on the daily. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Okay, I was going to say we didn't get any sort of retrace, but we did get a little bit of a retrace attempt there, and it failed, showing quite a bit of weakness. And this came down right on the 2 hour, right down to the order block here, which is also representative of where this low is, which is $105. So we did tap down into this region. The question's going to be here. I mean, look at this, shoulder, head, shoulder. It feels like we haven't even really broken down from this yet. Let me see. So that's actually the neckline from here to here to here And we're just now really flirting with a breakdown. We have broken down from this, but we're going to want to watch a little bit of rise, retrace, continuation, but this could be a fake out. So let's be a little patient. As it looks right now, look at how high on the 2 hour the stochastics are, and the strength is down, and the stochastics are looking like they're about to come down, which would represent also likely more pressure to the downside. Momentum is expanding to the downside. We have negative money flow. This is looking like it's about to give you a better opportunity at a lower price. That's how I'm looking at things right now, because I know where we're at in the market cycle. How many of you out there hold quant? Let me see some, and what price point did you get it at? I unfortunately sold 1,000 AVAX and I think like 600 quant in August, because I made a promise with myself when I moved here that I was going to not put anything on, I wasn't going to use any of my daily capital. I was going to take some profits on some coins and move some things around, and I did. It was the hardest thing in the world. But then right after that, the market dropped, so I felt pretty good about it. But now the market's going back up, and I'm ready. I was feeling very frustrated right here when it went up. I was like, God damn it, I just lost. Oh. But now what happens in markets, we have these cycles of rise and falls and rise and falls. And depending on where you're at in the trend, you can identify those dipping points. And this is what we're getting right now. Where is it going to dip to? For me, I'd be a buyer anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't mind if this dropped further down, of course, but I'd be a buyer anywhere in this $88 to $100 range, because I want some of this in my portfolio. I want to add this back in before the hyperbull really takes off. Kelly, ORDI. Yeah, we can do ORDI, but I want to do these coins I already had selected here first. Then I'm going to do Pulse Chain for RMX, I think his name was. RMX something. And then I have a list here. Do I have a list? Yeah, got one right. Thank you, Alexander G. Everybody, hit the like button for Alexander G. She's always in here doing so much work and helping with so much stuff. So huge help there. Now, let's come back. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Wrong button. I thought I was clicking on my screen and I was clicking on the OBS. Now, AVAX also, we had this huge roundingness. Now we have another similar sort of kind of head and shoulders-y, but not really, because we don't really have a shoulder. I mean, we have this shoulder, head, you have a little bit of a shoulder, but similar. Structurally, we're seeing impulse, larger impulse, smaller impulse. So if you're following up an impulse, in this case, this is more bearish until this reverses, because this is a larger impulse. So the signal here is once this breaks down, if you get a smaller impulse after an impulse increase like this is suggesting that that narrative is switching from the bulls to the bears. And then what do we get? We get this little trend line right here, this area that is kind of holding on to until it is lost. And this is actually the kind of, it's not really the neckline, but kind of a little bit of a neckline here. Again, this is not really head and shoulders, but it is. A lot of these patterns you'll see are kind of like one thing and kind of like another, but we're seeing the breakdown coming down. Where is it testing right now? Look left, previous low range. If we lose this, you got to be careful, because let's do a option F. You can also come over here when I say option F, this Fibonacci tool right here, Fibonacci retracement. See this right here? Click on that. And let me delete that. When I do option F, if you're on PC, it's Alt F. You just press it and then click on the chart, and then you get your fib. And look at where we're at right now. Key level. See this golden pocket right here, 0.618, 0.65. We're sitting right here in this zone. If we lose this area, the next level I'm looking to is right here, which I would assume is probably also a fib. I turned off the other fib lines on here. Let's turn them on. 0.382. Where's the other one? 0.786. 786. There. Now look at where this is. I looked left on the chart. I put a line at the next sort of stair that this could, if this falls, this could go to. And look at what happens. We have the 786 that happens to be exactly right where this line is as well, giving us more strength at this level if this price does come down and dip into this. Maybe a wick down into this order block. But in this zone, I think this would be an excellent area to, pick up some more avalanche here in this $27 range. Now, if price goes below that, then I'm just going to be buying more. But as bullish as things are, unless we get a negative ruling on the Coinbase SEC case, that identifies everything. I mean, I see things holding. I mean, on a low basis, I would say if this really drops, would be, you know, coming down here in the $22 to $24 range. But I see this, if we drop, remember we're at the golden pocket, we could hold here. If we drop from here, I'm looking at, you know, this zone right here, $25 to $27 is a great area to maybe a little bit above 27 so you can front run it. But this region right here, I think is going to be a great opportunity. If we're able to hold in here and chop in here and push up, then great. We do have the momentum wave on the 4 hour, see? The momentum wave down here, which is how fast things have been moving, does have a triangle here, but we're immediately following that triangle. See this? With red bars, which means there's all of a sudden there's still a lot of selling pressure under this. Maybe there's a little bit of manipulation going on. We also have negative money flow. So as much as I want this to bounce, it doesn't have the signals yet to show that there's some underlying strength coming into it. That's what I'm seeing on AVAX. Ethereum, look at this. As it stands right now, kind of, I don't want to say perfectly testing, but this is broken out, tested this again, a little bit above it. But then we came down and we're chopping around this trend line here. If we lose this, come down here and lose this, then I do think that we're going to be coming down likely to the 2250 sort of range. I would say this zone right here. From this high, because if we go back all the way over here, you see this is the lows here, the highs here, support there, a little bit of support there, and a rejection right in this region. So I'd be looking for a target down here in the 2275 to 2332 sort of range is a great opportunity, because remember the Ethereum spot ETF speculation is likely going to drive some bullish price action in this. So I'm hoping, I'll be honest about my bias, I am hoping the price comes down into this zone, but it may not. As it stands right now, things are looking like they're having a little bit of a pressure put on them. But we've seen when we've entered bull markets before, especially this contentious point we're at right now, we're having this pullback, and when the buying pressure comes back in, because of where we're at in the market, let me say this on the big screen. Because of where we're at in this bull market, we're having a little bit of a pullback. It's scary, it sucks, but it doesn't. This is giving you that opportunity, the last opportunity to really, really pack your bags, stack your sats, stack your Ethereum, stack your altcoins before these God candles really just absolutely blow things out of the water. Because right now, people are a little uncertain with the ETF news, the flow, who cares about all that? Let's look at the charts and realize that if you don't have a strategy before the market starts to take off, you're going to miss it. Because we've seen historically, when this market decides on a pullback to then go full launch, everybody is scared of missing out, and you have so many retail traders jump in, and now we have institutions getting involved in the market as well, and bigger players. So when this market launches, it's going to launch. I'm looking for dip buying opportunities to take advantage of any downside price action so that when it does rip, I can take the trip. That's what I want to do. Do you want to take that trip with me? I know I want to take this trip. So as we're looking right now on this market, we have this right here. A little bit, I won't call this a bull flag because this is starting to get longer than this flagpole is right here. However, we do have a falling channel, which representatively gives you the same sort of thing. Falling channels tend to break out bullish, but things are getting pushed around right now because everybody's clamoring to figure out how to get positioned in this market. And part of getting positioned in this market for big players is pushing prices in the opposite direction so they can get the best price. A little bit of a mind screw there. So this is why you need to have a plan. As it stands right now, this is looking like we had this move to the downside. Currently, we have this secondary move to the downside, but it is holding. If we lose this area, I'm looking for an area down here in the 22 to 2300s. Now, if we're able to push back up, then I'm looking, the next zone we have to watch is basically 2500. Not only is it the low of this range right here, but when we get up into this zone, this is also going to be roughly about where the golden pocket is. Look at that, 25.34. So we have not only this, we have the diagonal, and we have these previous lows and highs, this choppy zone right in here. This is that area that I'm going to be watching. Potential reversal back down again, chop more people out. But if we break through this, then the next level we're going to be watching for is 2600. And if we're able to take out this region right here, this 26 to 2650, 2,650 sort of zone, then I think the market's going to be moving. So let's stay patient. Let's stay vigilant. Now it's time to do these altcoins that you guys so want to see. So I got a list here from Alexander G, a bunch of coins that you guys posted in there. If I don't hit one of yours, I'm going to do as many of these as I can. But you're welcome to super chat. I'll try to hit anything that's super chatted as well. We're going to be going for, I'm going to be going very quickly. I'm going to be going for about 20 minutes probably here. So let's do it. First things up. I think this is on a lot of people's talking block right now because of what's going on with just the developments on Bitcoin. So let's talk about ORDI. This is ORDI Tether. Let's go to the 3-day. Look at that. Just, I mean, it's just basically straight price discovery. Straight to the, let's go weekly. Look at that. Just a little bit of initial dip. This is what the ETFs are going to look like, by the way, everybody. You know the sell-off we saw? This is what we're going to see on the ETFs. On all those ETF charts, they look, I mean, tell me that this doesn't look like that. Tell me this doesn't look like that. ETF charts. See? We're just getting the sell-off. But what do we see on ORDI? This is going to be a great roadmap as to what we're likely going to see on the ETFs. I don't think it's going to be as steep, but it's going to be a slow chug to the upside as some of this narrative sort of gets out of the charts. People need to get into the charts and the fundamentals and stop worrying about all this news narrative bullshit that's going on. So what's going on right here is we're on this. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. We got a bit of a shelf here, option T. We're going to draw this across like this. This is what we're testing right now. You see this? Support, support, support all the way across. We're testing this right now. Now, if we lose this, where do we go? Well, first things first, let's just draw a little bit of a map. Option F from the bottom to the top. Look at this. Look at where we're also at right now. This is right on where the 382 is, as well as this rising level of support. And so we're going to want to see if we have an upper trend line as well. We do, just like this. This does not look very good because what this reminds me of right here is this right here. See this massive move in 2017 where we had, this is on a much larger time frame, but this flat bottom of support, falling level of resistance, and then what happens? The bottom falls out from under it. Now this, of course, was a major catastrophe. It felt like at the time, but in reality, those that were prepared were able to take advantage of Bitcoin at half the price. So if we're looking at ORDI and we see this sort of shape right here, and I'm looking at the 382 being this flat bottom support right here, but we also have this rising level of support. So there's a couple different things going on here. And I think this is likely going to follow a little bit of the narrative of what's going on with Bitcoin, but it also has, you know, they're trying to build in these ORDI, NFTs and stuff with Trump. And there's a lot of different things going on with this right now. Now, if we lose this golden pocket comes down here, and this is where all these lows were over here. And this is roughly a 30%, 28 to 30% drop to come down and test this. If we get that. Currently, right now, we have negative money flow. We have a little, weakening of this as this is trickling to the downside. But this is looking like it may make some small time frame move. Let's get down to the small time frame, 1 hour. So look at that. They tried to sell it off and it held. So that's actually a little bit bullish. This is high volume selling on these candles. On this specific on this specific candle, each one of these specific volume bars is relative to the candle that is directly above it. So a huge amount of selling volume came in on this. I don't have any of the indicators on. So look, yeah, we can also see a lot of volume. That's why this candle's purple now. BitLab trading stack. Let's see. Yeah, and we're sitting right here in an order block. It's interesting how these order blocks really show you price coming down into them, testing those levels, kind of filling out that liquidity interest in that order block area. And it also has been to correspond with the 382 and the rising level of support. Getting a little bit of stopping volume here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a retest somewhere up into this zone, into the 67 area, because it's also representative of where this range broke down from. Yeah, right in here, because we have these levels here, we have this level here. So if we're able to rise up, I'd be watching for a potential either breakthrough or reversal here. And we'll know in the context of when we get the price action into the zone, what's the narrative on the candles that we're seeing with the bull, who's in charge, the bulls or the bears. So how we do that is even seeing this come down here. Do you know it's going to bounce? Well, let's look at it. We're at the 1 hour candle. Let's go down to the 5 minute. Let's see what this candles told us when you get better resolution. Well, look at here. We had expansion of bearish narrative here. We have basically stair stepping down, stair step, stair step, stair step. But now we get an expansion. You see this, how these candles are getting bigger, 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 bigger. Now on this candle right here, we're coming into the order block. So that would have been our clue. Maybe there's going to be something different. And what happens is then all of a sudden, once we're in the order block, we get a smaller candle, and then we get stopping volume with this yellow candle right here. And next here, we broke through this 20 moving average and into this dynamic resistance zone. So this is looking, I mean, I'm telling you, if you guys aren't using this indicator, I don't know what you're doing. It's telling you right here, this was going to be a little bit of a stopping, a little bit of hesitation, and this is what we're getting. So if we're able to pop through this, then I expect, let's go actually 15 minute. We're able to pop through that area that we were just looking at on the 5 minute chart. And look at this, right on the 20 minute. Then I do think we're going to be testing up into this 67 area. As it stands right now, this is looking like we're going to need some other form of candle. We have things that look like they're trying to roll over, but this is signaling to me this is likely not going to happen because the RSI is already rolling over and we're still in negative money flow. So money goes where there's interest. So you see something rising while there's negative money flow, somebody's trying to trap your ass. I'm telling you, watch the signals. So I'd be watching for this to retest this area down here, 63 down to 62, really down in this zone, 62.4. And if we lose that, that's when we look for a potential move down to the next zones, 58, 54. So that's what we're seeing on ORDI. Beam. How many of you guys out there, Beam kind of popped on the radar recently. Everybody's talking about it. I don't trade Beam. I don't have anything against that. I just can only focus on so many things for my own portfolio, you know? So let's look at Beam. This is a 15-minute candle. That's much too small to do any meaningful TA. So a lot of consolidation here. This is consolidating. The question is this consolidating to break up or break down? This is kind of trying to curve here. But if I had to guess, with all this negative money flow that we're seeing down here, no positive money flow, blue is positive, you know, the purple wave means there's money coming out. This means there's money coming in. And the stochastics rolling over RSI, I would assume, based on what I'm just seeing at a quick glance, we pushed up, got rejected at the trend signal line and, you know, this dynamic resistance zone. I would assume we're going to test at least 1.7 cents, but more likely than not, I mean, I could see this coming down like this, coming down into this zone, bouncing a little bit, forming a head and shoulders here. And then look at this move. This would put us right down into that order block range. Look at this. I can't make this. I can't make it up. The measurement of that head would put us directly not only into this order block, but right where these two order blocks are overlying, where there's the most interest right there in that zone. So that's, I mean, obviously this is not a head and shoulders yet, but I'm prepared if it does, because I've already seen it potentially forming. So if this does not even form that other shoulder, because we have a little bit of like a Quasimodo shoulder going on right now, but if this does break down and lose this level, I'm watching for this area down here, 1.3 cents, which corresponds with these highs over here. And if we lose that, you know, it is a newer project. Maybe we come all the way down to 8 cents. Ooh, I'd say 10 cents right here. That would be like a dream, great opportunity to buy, because that would be pretty big. That would be a pretty big drop. That would be, let's see. That'd be a 42% drop. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying in the event that real bearishness comes into the chart, I see that this is that level I'm looking for. As you know, maybe you put a third in somewhere here, you put a third in somewhere in this region, third in somewhere down on the lower side of this order block, and then the last third down here. And then you may get all three and you get the average of what those different price splits are. Unless you just want to have a specific DGen bag with a small amount of money that you're like, I'm only getting the dream buy opportunities on different coins. And some of them you won't hit. Some of them you won't hit. But this is, if we do bounce here, I would want to see this high taken out. which is 2 point, almost at 23 cents, which is 2.3 cents. And then the next level up is, you know, up here at the 2.6 cents, the range high there. But things are looking relatively weak, I feel like. See on the 8 hour, everything's headed down, negative money flow. This is rolled over. All this bearishness on the dashboard here on the BitLab trend fuel. On the daily, yeah, it's kind of neutral. I'd be looking for opportunities lower. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on Beam. I'll just do it now. ADA, real quick on ADA, because I talk about ADA somewhat regularly. Just a quick look, kind of working its way to the downside. We talked about this. The structure last week, I was saying it was looking fairly bearish. We had a little bit of a shelf here that broke down, which is right there. Broke down, came back up, retested this, which gave it a little bit more bearishness when we got this bearish signal, and this attempt failed and came back down. And now we're testing the lows right here, right in this order block. We're testing the lows of this breakdown right here, basically the 46, 47 cents. If we lose this, then we're going to be coming down. I think we could test into here, but I think we'd actually be testing down a little bit lower down here into the 40-cent mark, which I think would be phenomenal. I think that would be a phenomenal opportunity. If we're able to hold this zone, maybe we form a giant W. But as it stands right now, on the short time frame, the 4 hours, this is looking like it may want to hold the zone because we can tell on this candle. Why is okay, 2 hours left. We have 2 more hours on this candle, but the bears tried to take this down. And you see this wick? The bulls ate this back up within the lifespan of this candle, within this time frame. So what does it look like on a smaller time frame? Yeah. So the bears took it down. We got stopping volume. Now we're coming into that contested area. If we cannot take out this zone, look at where this trend signal line is. It's perfectly in line with where this previous low was right there. So if we get rejected here, then I do think we're probably going to continue on to the downside. If we're able to break through this and test back up, maybe there's a little bit of an opportunity for some bullishness. But remember, these altcoins right now are on a little bit of a hair trigger based on what ruling may come out with the Coinbase litigation going on. The comments that are happening from the judge, all these different things are really making things a little bit indeterminable right now. So all we can do is look at the charts and realize, although the charts may say further downside, we may get a moonshot rocket anytime in the next, 3 weeks, 3 days to 3 weeks, depending on all this litigation with the SEC. There's no telling, there's no timeline on that, but there's a highly charged scenario that could make things turn on a dime. That's why I haven't been scalping the last week or two, because I'm not really interested in getting into something that could literally just absolutely go the opposite way from what the chart's saying based on major narrative news that comes out. So I'm looking for these opportunities. If there is low side, how do we get into this so we can dominate? But yeah, so I mean, I still love Cardano. There's been some great developments and stuff that they've been doing lately. I'm just still mad that I sold my 800,000 Cardano back in, I don't know, is it 2018? Something like that. Got a bunch back, but bought a bunch back. But it was a good trade when it happened, and then the price went way beyond where I thought it was going to go. Now let's go to MATIC. I'm just going through this list that Alexander G sent me from the team. From you guys, this looks almost the same as what we were just seeing on Cardano. Load for me. But this looks different on this view. This is why you look at different views. I'm going to delete some of this stuff. So this is, look, big head and shoulders. Does this mean you're about to get an opportunity to buy MATIC at 53 cents? And not only that long ago, look at this. It was over $1.06 and it came all the way down here. So if you stop trying to have the exact level that you think it's going to go, ignore all that nonsense. Look at a chart and go, okay, if it goes down, I'm going to go here. If it goes up, I'm going to go there. Always have at least two courses of actions so you don't get surprised in the market. If you're aware, as bullish as you are, if you're aware that price could go the opposite direction, then you don't get so shocked and start trading so emotionally in the market when it does happen. And in this case, we've got pretty big. Let's see. So pretty big. See this deviation to the downside? This would be testing kind of the same similar kind of lows. It came up in here. It's chopping in this zone. So technically speaking, we're seeing that 12-hour. Yeah. So that's July. So technically speaking, from the true breakdown of this market and the bear market from, was it December 21 all the way across? Technically speaking, we haven't even broke out yet because we had this small fake out here and it came right back inside this large macro, basically symmetrical triangle pattern. But then we're chopping around right in here. We have two kind of mixed signals here. We have this inverted head and shoulders right here on the 12-hour. And we had the fake out up and we're coming back down in this. So this is basically invalidated. So now when we're looking just right here, we have an indication, and I want to caution here. This indication is that the breakdown is likely because of this head and shoulders. But I think where we're at right now, I would hesitate to say that price is going to go to 53 cents. Okay. The target says that, but there's so much underlying bullishness in terms of the fundamentals of where things are and where they're going, that although the target suggests that MATIC could break down to this, I mean, honestly, this would be like the dream buy opportunity for where we're at right now. If prices, if we do see a 50% pullback in the altcoin market, which absolutely could happen, I'd be looking more at opportunities kind of in this region here. And, yeah. So because if we look at this, we go like this, if we go option F, fib, look at where we're at right now. We're kind of coming down to test in near this golden pocket zone right here, which is a 72.5 cents. We're regionally in this zone. We have all these wicks that come down, boom, 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 boom. If we're able to hold this, then maybe we get a wick fake out to the downside and then come back up. But as this suggests, I do think there is going to be a move that breaches this golden pocket. The question is going to be how sustained is it, given everything that's going on with all the narratives and so forth. This is why it's worth having stop limit orders in the chart. And what is a stop limit order? A stop limit order is a limit order, but the limit order doesn't get put in the order books until a certain threshold of price is hit. So it's like a limit order. So you have it only on your computer, on your trading desk, on your whatever exchange you're using. And then you say, especially like Coinbase. So if price hits 67 cents or if price hits 56 cents, then I have a limit order I want you to put in the books at 53 cents. That way you don't have your liquidity showing in the charts, in the order books, for where, basically you're creating a market at that price. That's essentially what you're doing. And that way also your prices don't become part of the factor of what larger players are doing when they're seeing where there's liquidity interest at different zones so they can take advantage of that. That way you're already prepared. If the price goes down into that zone, then you're able to take an entry, right? But yeah, MATIC, it's looking almost like this is like falsely bearish because of this larger bullish trend, the larger bullish sort of structure that we're seeing with this fake out and back down. I'm feeling like we're going to get some sort of whipsaw price action, which we've already been seeing in here. So we got this flush out to the upside. I'm looking for a flush out to the downside before a very likely continuation in bullish behavior. So TIA, how many of you guys got on the TIA train and when? When did you guys get in? Were you guys chasing a narrative or did you do some diligence and find out about this early on? This looks like a Bitcoin chart, on the monthly, looking at many years. But we're looking at this on the 12-hour. Let's get down to the 4-hour. Let me see what you guys got. Oh no, freaking. So looking here, let's see what we're seeing here. We're in price. We've gone into price discovery mode a few times, which is when price is going to an area that it has never been before. And so in this case, when price moves up, what do we want to do? Ask yourself that. When price moves up, what do you want to do? We want to look for, in the event that the price has any sort of reversal or dip or pullback, where are the areas in which I can take advantage of that in this uptrend? Because when you're looking at an uptrend, let me turn off the BitLab volume so you can see this. When you're looking at an uptrend, right? You don't get a line like this. When you're looking at an uptrend, you get a line like this, and a pullback, and like this, and a pullback, and like this, and a pullback, and like this. What we want to do is find areas on these dips to identify areas to buy. And so what we do when we see something has established a strong uptrend, you know, like we see here, we're looking for opportunities to buy on these dips. This was a little V-shaped one that scared a lot of people. And so what we see on this one, if we zoom in, as this asset has more money in it, in the market cap, we can kind of draw a box of, let's look left, say the price was right here in this zone. We see this dip down to this trend signal line, come up, and this is what I want you to pay attention to. We're having this impulse, and then we have a much smaller impulse, and then on this smaller impulse, the price actually came here and then broke through this trend signal line, suggesting the price was likely going to take a little bit of a dip. So what we can do is then we look, say the price is right here. We're not yet down. We say, how far could this go down? I'm going to try to get a good opportunity. Well, we look to the tops of these previous ranges right in here. So this is all we have. So we draw a little bit of a box. And we come over here like this, and we say, in the event that the price comes down into the zone, I'm going to be a buyer. What happened? The price came down in the zone, gave you two opportunities in the zone. And then the question now is this going to continue up, or are we going to get an opportunity for even lower price? And the next spot I'm looking at is this line right here. This line marks out the price level at which these high volume switch from high volume buying to stopping volume. And it gives you sort of an area of interest to look out on the chart. Good price level. If this does dip below this, I already took advantage of, let's see, if I did not buy here because I was being smart, that's a 17%, 18% advantage of buying this cheaper. But price, you never know where the actual bottom is going to be. So say you bought there, but you believe in this asset because you think it's going to be going up over time because it has a great team behind it. I mean, right? That's why you buy these assets, right? Because you think they're going to go up over time. So if you buy here, we're about to start the biggest bull run the biggest part of the bull run, then I'm looking for usually at least two entries. So I had this lined out, and then you line out this as well, and you see you had an opportunity here to buy at an 18% discount and then also at a 25% discount, and you get the average of these two zones. So your price level would actually be roughly about right here. If this comes down and doesn't get down there, then you still have the advantage of buying this level. Maybe you didn't throw your whole bag in. That's okay. That means you still have dry powder to take advantage of an asset somewhere else or another move. Patience in this market will pay. Again, I want to shout out to Sawtooth Hiker for the $50 super chat. We don't do a lot of super chats here, so every time I see him, it just makes my heart smile. I appreciate it. And RH Max with Pulse Chain. I totally forgot to do Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain. I'm glad I looked at that. So let's do Pulse Chain. Some people, there's out there, people are Pulse Chain lovers or hater out there. Pulse X from Pulse Chain, is it? What is just the Pulse? Is it Pulse X? I don't ever trade Pulse. So you guys tell me what the Pulse ticker is, the correct one, and I will look at it. Sawtooth Hiker. How many people we still got in the room right now? Everybody do a roll call. How are you feeling today? Are you doing anything fun this weekend? We're still going to be looking at a couple more charts. Just waiting for that ticker. But I want to see some engagement on here. You guys do anything fun this weekend? I was thinking about maybe setting up my DJ decks and doing a live stream from my apartment, like something like Beats and Bitcoin or something like that. But we'll see about that. Everybody hit the like button too. We got 79 likes. Get that likes up. I don't care about the likes. The likes are great because they let YouTube know you like crypto content. Helps push this out to more people. All right, so PLS. That's what I thought I did initially. PLS. Oh, maybe I'm just a dum-dum. All right. So if you like this asset, then that means you've had a very hard time with this downtrend here, and then this large sort of impulse that just faked you out and came back down. Now we have another one of these sort of shoulder, head, shoulder in this zone. And do I think this is going to play out? I would say no, because this would be a pretty substantial drop. If we go like this, so we do option T, we draw this across, we have it's not really a neckline there. It's kind of like that. If we drew this, I mean, this would represent, a breakdown target of 6 cents. That would be from the top here on this regional hop. That's an 82% drop from there. From where we're at right now, that is a 60% drop. So in this case, based on where we're at in the market cycle, unless, I mean, you never know with Hex and Pulse Chain and what's going on with Richard Hart and court cases and the SEC, there's a possibility of this happening. But all in all, I would be watching for some sort of move, break below this, maybe potentially testing this sort of low here, maybe front running it a little bit down. Let's move this so it doesn't confuse people. Down into the 14 sort of cent range. I feel like would be a decent spot to look at what's going on. But look at this. We had 3 bearish divergences right there. Yeah, I'd be looking at somewhere in the 14 cent range. If we're able to hold this line and sort of basically smooth out, consolidate here a little bit longer, maybe there's going to be a little bit of move to the upside. But when we look at what's going on right here, look at all this bearishness on the dashboard, the expansion of bearish momentum. We also have the RSI and stochastics working themselves lower. We have negative money flow. Things are not looking super bullish. If we do get an impulse to the upside, I initially would be watching for about where this point of control is, right at 18.25 up to, that's a weekly VWAP actually, 18.25 up to this point of control at 19. A bullish impulse up to here. If we don't get rejected and come back down, then we may be testing up to these basically range highs that were just before us, 22 cents. But I'm a little cautious on this because of the shape of this chart. Now, let's, what an idiot. Alexander G had the ticker in there. I don't know why I didn't type it correctly. Caspa. How many of you guys are Caspa people? Let's look at Caspa. All right, Caspa. All right, we got no real line there, but kind of ugly here. This is expansion here. We have a little bit of like a broadening wedge. This is a tricky one. Tell you. We lose this line here. I think we're testing down to this order block region, but likely. Let's go from here. Option F from this point to the top. Okay, that gives me a little bit more. So if we break down from where we're at right here, which is kind of this regional high here, I'd be looking at into this zone, maybe a little bit a wick first on a sooner move, a move down here and testing this golden pocket here at basically 8.6 to 9 this sort of region, just shy of 9 cents. If we lose this, then I think we're coming down to the 786 down here, which is also would mean we'd be coming down and testing this order block. So that would make sense. We do have negative money flow. Everything else is angled to the downside on the daily. A lot of bearish signals there. What does it look like on the 2 hour? Some volume, a little bit of volume coming in, but bearish expansion, as we see here. Stochastics kind of rolling over a little bit. I do think we could get a bounce here. We do have 3 bullish divergences here on the 2 hour. So the bounce, I think, would be testing up into this zone right here, the underside of this order block and the trend signal line right in here. That's if we get the bounce. But we do have this long wick here, which is suggesting the bulls are trying to make an attempt. So remember, on that attempt, if we cannot clear this trend signal line right here, then I think we're coming back down and then actually following through to go down to that golden pocket. But everybody, I want to just let you know how much I appreciate you all being here on a daily basis. There's so many of you. If you're new here and you've been watching this whole stream, let me know you're new. Make sure you get over. I want to see more of you, all of us, engaging in the BitLab Discord. We do have the free section here when you go on to BitLab Academy.com and join You get access to all of this different content that we do. In fact, Joshua Jake is doing a classroom session this afternoon on going $100 to $10,000 portfolio. He's going to be talking about it, different picks, different strategies. That's for the members. But if you do want to join, we have a lot going on here in the free zone too, where we chat. I share some team charts, breaking down things that are going on. You can have access to our news roundup, which is the news that we're watching every day that we think that we're also building our streams around. So you have an idea. You don't have to go looking for news. This is basically, we pull it all together for you. But I want to see you guys in there. I want us all to be more of a community. So as this bull market rages on, as this bull market really gets into like these God candles, that all of us have it. We know each other. We got a community. We can rely, like if we're having an issue with the chart or a question or, as a setup comes, that could be, if we're not prepared for it, right now is a time to make sure you're ultimately the most prepared. So get involved with our BitLab Academy. Get involved here on the channel on a daily basis, even if you don't want to get in there. We have some great new additions of data tools that are coming to all BitLab Academy members that you're going to have access to if you're a BitLab Academy member. And I just forgot about that. I wanted to share that with you. That's going to be here as well. We're going to be working on integrating that here over the next coming couple weeks, because it's going to take some API integration with some. I'm talking, you're going to love it. Just going to be part of your access when you have BitLab. And last thing I want to say is, coming into the middle of January, make sure you're thinking about what you got to do for your taxes. Shout out to decrypted.tax. You can go to decrypted.tax/hit network. Get 50% off. You can also get a free hour consultation, I believe. It says right here, boom. And make sure you get all your crypto taxes in order so you can stay ahead of the ball. Who knows? Maybe you'll get some money back and you can put it back in the market. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Everybody, before you go, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's have an incredible weekend. Let's go into this weekend with gratitude, appreciation, and a positive spirit. I love you. That's all I got. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. BitLabAcademy.com. Hit that like button, sucker. Get in the Discord. Chat with us. Share them charts. Let's dominate this market. See you over at BitLabAcademy.com. Hit it, suckers.